Hello everyone, Namo Buddhaya. A very warm welcome to Dhamma friends from around the world who are joining us on Zoom and on the Dhamma USA YouTube channel. Today we resume the Sutta Study Series led by Venerable Bhante Sumita of Dhamma USA. He will continue discussing the Sammaditthi Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 9. I would now like to invite Bhante Sumita to start the class. Bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello everyone, welcome to Majjhima Nikaya Sutta Study Series, and we are discussing the second part of Sammaditthi Sutta today. And last time we were discussing about the first part of the sutta, and that was about how Venerable Sariputta is explaining about the wholesome and the unwholesome. And so we came to know about the dasa akusalas, 10 unwholesome actions, and dasa kusalas, 10 wholesome actions, to generate samma ditti, or right view in us. And Venerable Sariputta next goes to the next segment of Sammaditthi Sutta, that is the nutriment. How the nutriment is conducive and generating our Sammaditthi. So as I mentioned last week, for some people, even those 10 kusalas and 10 akusalas, or wholesome and unwholesome actions, generating them can lead to the fruition, lead to the opening of their Dhamma chakra. And for some, it might not work. And maybe Venerable Sariputta is giving us so many tools to open our Dhamma chakra, the eye of the Dhamma. So Sammaditthi, as I mentioned, is the very key to open our Dhamma door. And nutriment is one more thing that we are very seriously concerned. Many people know like nutriment is food, and a lot of people also must have heard like the food that we eat is in this karma world is what we call kabalinkara hara. In this human realm and animal realm, what we eat is kabalinkara hara, right? So we eat like piece by piece, crumb by crumb, and we bite, and that is called our food, and that becomes our food for this physical body. How about the food for the other sentient beings? Let's say like the sentient beings in the hell realm. So their food is actually already set up, mostly the karmic food, or their food can be also very different from um, one sentient being to another. There are many cases where those hell beings, especially the Peta world, how they are struggling to find their food. Sometimes they get the help from human beings to take food, and sometimes when we transfer merit, that can also become their food. And so it is said for some petas, their belly is so big and their throat is so thin, just like a needle, and the belly is too big for the needle-like throat to feed that. So they are always hungry. They cannot appease their hunger all the time, but that is their karma, so they have to suffer too. And very interesting. And let's go and find out more about that. And in the heavenly realm, it is mostly again the devas. Actually, they don't um, necessarily need food like we do, and their food is mostly based on the food. I mean, the maybe the smell of some fruits or something, and also their food is can also be different other kinds of food. Like they are never in short of food, whereas in the hell realms they are always in short of food, and the devas in the heavenly realm, they are never in short of food, and they will have all kinds of comforts there. And in the human realms, people depend on food according to their karma too. Uh, like if you have done some very good practice some generosity in the past, so you become a rich person, you have a lot of things, so you have enough abundance of food. But in that, in some other cases, there may be like homeless people, beggars, and people who do not have enough food, especially these days with the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people are suffering from food scarcity, and so it depends again. But then again, for the humans, they have the capacity to generate good karma, generate good income. They can change their karma by themselves too, in many cases. So human beings are, I would like to say, like they are little more privileged in compared to others. And then in the Brahma realm, they are basically depending on what do you call piti, or the rapture or the joy. So they don't need any other food. They just depend on rapture. The piti, happiness is their food. Now, the sutta discusses about this. Sadhavu sotikote bhikkhu ayasmato sariputtassa bhasitang abhinanditva anumoditva ayasmantang sariputang uttari panjang apucham. Um, Good friend, the bhikkhus delighted and rejoiced in the Venerable Sariputta. So then they asked him a further question. So it was like a question and answer session. I also would like to have this session like a question and answer session. So Venerable Sariputta is explaining something, and then the Venerable other monks, maybe they find that particular answer was not enough. So they want to get more explanation from Venerable Sariputta. Then they ask another question. Siya panauso anyopi Pariyayo yatha Arya Savako Samma Ditti Hoti. Ujugatas Ditti Dhamme Aveccha Pasadena Samanagato Imang Saddhammanti. Venerable friend, can you also explain any other view that can lead to Buddha Dhamma Sangha Aveccha Pasada, the mind unshaken state of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and to improve noble disciples' right view or Sammaditthi, to straighten the perspective of Arya Savaka. And also, if someone can say, now I am in the right track, now I am in the true Dhamma, can somebody say, is there any other way apart from those 10 unwholesome and 10 wholesome actions? Siya also, there can be, venerable friends, Venerable Sariputta explained. Now, Yathoko also Arya Savako Aharancha Pajanati, Ahara Samudayancha Pajanati, Ahara Nirodhancha Pajanati, Ahara Nirodhagamini Patipadancha Pajanati. Now, this, venerable friends, a noble disciple understands nutriment ahara, and ahara samudayan, the origin of nutriment, and ahara nirodhancha, cessation of nutriment, ahara nirodhagamini patipadancha, the path leading to the cessation of nutriment. If the noble disciple knows this, then there is again an opportunity for that noble disciple to open his Dhamma eye and to improve his, to straighten his right view, and uh, also uh, to be confident in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and also to be aware that he or she has come to the true Dhamma. And this is another way. This is number 2. Ettavataapiko also Arya Savako Sammaditthi hoti Ujugatasa ditti samme avechapasad dhamme avechapasadena samannagato agato iman sadhama. This is exactly the same thing that we explain. And katamo pana also aharo. What is that ahara? What is that food? What is that nutriment? Katamo ahara samadeo. What is the origin? And what ahara nirodho? What is the cessation? And ahara nirodha gamini? What is the way leading to the cessation of nutriment? And then Venerable Sariputta explained, Chattaro me auso ahara bhutanangva sattanangva dhitya sambhavesinangva anuggahaya. I would like you to suggest to all of you, please make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen to write down these Sammaditthi ways. This is number 2 about the nutriment. These are the 4 nutriments that we discuss here. And there are 4 kinds of nutriments for the maintenance of being. Sattanang thitya and sambhavesi nangva anuggahaya. So sambhavesi means those who are ready to be born. Just like a baby in the womb of the mother, waiting to be born, can be sambhavesi. And katame chattaro, kabalikara, karo aharo, olarikoa sukumoa, pasoa dutiyo, mano sanchetana, titya, vinyanam chatuttam. These are the 4. Okay, number 1, kabalikaro aharo, olarikoa sukumoa. So the physical food that we eat, let's say rice or bread or whatever, they can be gross or subtle, olarika or sukuma. And passo dutiyo, second nutriment is contact, like we will discuss later. So that is the second one. Mano sanchetana tatya, that is the volition, mental volition is the third one. And vinyanam chatutham, that is consciousness. Consciousness also has food, and that is called the 4th food. And tanha samudaya ahara samudayo, tanha nirodha ahara nirodho, ayameva aryo attangiko ahara nirodha gamini patipada sayatidam. Then samma ditti samma sankappo, samma vacha samma kammanto, samma ajivo samma vayamu, samma sati samma samadhi. Now, with the arising of craving, food definitely is something to do with our craving. We have craving for food. We have craving for food, many different kinds of food. So that also can be a problem, can be a reason. The main reason for the food is actually craving. Sometimes we don't necessarily have to eat, but we have that urge, we have that desire, we have that craving for food, so we eat all the time. Sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes 6 times a day. Whenever you see a food, let's say you are already full, but you after a while, maybe 1 hour later, you see some ice cream or some chocolate or something that you feel like mouth watering, you feel yummy. Your sensation arouses again. So then you want to have that again. So that is the tanha, the craving for food. So when with the arising of craving, there is the arising of nutriment. And then if that is the case, then tanha nirodha ahara nirodho. With the cessation of craving, and then we can also get rid of the the root cause, that is craving for food. And then in the sutta, the way leading to the cessation of nutriment is given as Noble Eightfold Path, which is again very interesting how the Noble Eightfold Path is related to the food. And the Noble Eightfold Path, as we all know, Sammaditthi, right view, Samma Sankappa, right, right concept, and then right thought, and Samma Vacha, right speech, and Samma Kammanta, right action, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, and Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi, right concentration. These are the four Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, so yatoko ahuso Arya Savako evang aharang pajanati, evang ahara samudayang pajanati, evang ahara nirodang pajanati, ahara nirodha gamining patipadang pajanati. So sabbaso raganusayang pahaya, patighanusayang pahaya, pati vinodetva, asmiti ditti, mananusayang samohanitva, avijjang pahaya, vijjang upadetva, Ditteva dhamme dukkha santa karo hoti. So when the noble disciple, Arya Savako, evang aharang pajanati, when he knows this food, the food does, evang ahara samudayang, ahara nirodha gamining. So when he knows all these four noble truths related to the ahara or nutriment, then so sabbaso raganusayang pahaya. So all kinds of anusaya, or the latent tendency, the to greed, underlying tendency to greed, he can abandon them. And then patighanusayang, also patigha, ill will, can be abandoned. And then asmiti ditti, this is me, this I am, and that view can also be mananusayang, that latent tendency of mana or conceit, samohanitva, completely abolishing, avijjang pahaya, abandoning having abandoned the ignorance, vijjang upaditva, having generating the vijja, the knowledge, ditteva dhamme dukkha santa karohati. In this very life itself, he or she will be able to eliminate the suffering. So remember, this one is really important. Nibbana is not attained after death. Nibbana is attained when we are alive. So it's really important to know that. And in this Buddhist teaching, the doctrine, the Nibbana is within this life, and we have to always make an effort to achieve the nibbana right here, right now. Okay, I think I would like to now go back to the previous um, slide, and we will discuss about Kabalikarahara, and then we will discuss about Pasahara and Mano Sanchetanahara, and Vijnanahara. What is that, and how do we um, get this food through these different faculties? Do you have any questions so far, Monica?
Yes, I do, Bhante. Primarily to do with the translation, Bhikkhu Bodhi uses the word nutriment, which generally is actually a positive, it suggests nutrition, something that is good for us. But I believe Bhikkhu Sujato uses fuel in the sense of we're actually like pouring fuel on the fire of our desires and our senses. Perhaps you could just clarify that, because otherwise I have the impression that nutriment is actually good for us, but it's actually not. Am I right?
Yeah, I personally like food is ahara, like food. That is my translation to food, ahara. And Bhikkhu Bodhi, what he gives also like the nutriment, the things that that we generate by giving food. It's also having some nutritional value, but I'm not pretty confident about Bhikkhu Sujato's translation, like fuel. That can be remotely connected to that, but I personally prefer food or nutriment for that matter. Let's see what over here. Um, this I think is the translation of Bhikkhu Jnanamali and Bhikkhu Bodhi, right?
Right.
Yeah, over here we have again nutriment. Yeah, they also use Bhikkhu Jnanamali's translation is nutriment. Any other question? Is that clear to you? Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, so let's go to like what is Kabalikara? Like the food that we normally eat, they are all Kabalikara. As human beings, we eat Kabalikara. Let's say rice or bread or apple or fruit or whatever, and they are Kabalikara. And then also we have like fruits and juice and all these things. I guess they also have that nutritional value again, so that that also can become part of Kabalikara, although they are available in fluid form. They were earlier they were Kabalikara, and also the animals they eat Kabalikara food, right? So these are the sentient beings that eat Kabalikara. The others normally have different kinds of food. And then Olariko or Sukumo, this one is important. Sometimes it can be Olarika means gross food, and this can be like raw food. Like most of the animals, they can have raw food, and maybe we also just eat raw food. And Sukumo can be prepared or some other form of food. I guess like things like what we get through maybe some injection or vaccine can, to a certain extent, I feel like it can be a subtle food, sukuma food. Let's say somebody goes as to the space like an astronaut or something, so mm, they also maybe they get some kind of a sukum food, not necessarily though, but yeah, it's another interesting question. And then second one is interesting. Passo dutyo, what is that? What is passa? Like contact. Like these days, people are confined to houses, and they have been restricted to their, the mobility has been limited, and therefore people cannot gratify their other senses. um, and they want to, when people, the governments open those restrictions, remove the restrictions, then people thrown into the streets, and they go to the cinema halls, theaters, and other forms of like shopping, and they want to go to the beaches and all. What do we do then? Why do we do that? Actually, to satisfy our phasa, right? So when you see something through the eye, you become happy. So that is your phasa. You see a beautiful beach, that is your pasahara. Maybe you go so far away to see the beach, and then you go to some beautiful destinations as a tourist, to Asia, to Europe, to America. And then why do we go there? We go there to satisfy our pasahara. And then sometimes you want to go to theaters to watch a movie. That is pasahara for you. And then you want to go to, let's say, like listen to music, beautiful music, and some people keep watching, keep listening to music, and that is their pasahara too. True, that is sotahara, right? So rupa, chakku ahara, and then sota ahara. And then the nose, some people like different kinds of fragrances and perfumes. That is their ghana. Okay, like let's say some people like to have different kinds of perfumes or flowers or something. The smell of it, the fragrance of it, when you meditate or when you offer something to the Buddha or in the altar. Even let's say like for a wedding or something, you want to have different arrangements in the hotels, in the airport, in the airplanes, and in your office. Even after the car washing, you say like, okay, I need this one, that one. You order them. So for that is for the satisfying gratification of your nose. That is ghana ahara. And then touch. I mean the taste. I think it's very clear to all of you. Like some people like homemade food, the food made by the mother, cooked by the mother, or the father, or whosoever. Like there are people who are very good in cooking, so they like it too. And then some people like to go for what do you call um, different restaurants. Sometimes, okay, let's go to Chinese food today. Let's go to Japanese food. Let's go to Korean food. Let's go to what do you call many different kinds of food, right? So American food, or Asian food, or Indian food. We all have different kinds of food available, and people are craving to have different kinds of food. So it's difficult to say which one is more stronger. Sometimes not necessarily this tongue food that is important to us. Sometimes we really don't care about the tongue food. We want to go for some other food, right? We want to go have a. I don't care about the food. Just a little bit of food is okay, but I like to have to enjoy in the what do you call in the beach, in the wilderness. Sometimes even in the desert, I like to go. Um, you know, satisfy my eyes over there. So there can be ways of satisfying our tongue in different ways. And then passa ahara, again, the body. You want to have food for body, like air condition. Nowadays it is like hot and humid in some parts of the country, and then you like when it is hot, you need cool weather, and when it is cold, you want hot weather. So it's again different thing. Can everyone hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes, Bante, loud and clear.
Uh,
Why?
no, I just saw the this missing. Okay, good.
We are on.
So that is again the food for the body, the contact. So you like to have tugs, and you like to have maybe tiles, like for your bread, you need to have very comfortable, super comfortable, mattress or comforter. You like to have all these food for the body, different kinds of contact, and then very comfortable clothing. You need like cotton, sometime maybe different kinds of clothing. You like that comfort when your body is touched by those things. You feel very, very good. So you enjoy that. That is the comfort of the body, the contact. And then again, the mind. Yeah, that's why we do meditate. So that also is the food for our mind. Sometimes it can be different ways. Sometimes you like to talk to a friend. Sometimes you like to watch a movie. Maybe that can also be mind food for the body, and food for the eye, and also for the mind. And most of these things actually are food for the body, food for the mind as well. And certain things like meditation or some other forms can definitely be directly related to the food for the mind. Yeah, that's the food, about the food that we have. Like it can be olarika or it can be sukuma. You see, now directly and indirectly we take food in so many different ways. um, okay, now what is the root cause of this? Then again, it is the tanha, the craving, right? So we like, if you remember the monks, they say they have something called reflection at the moment of receiving alms food. The monks actually recite a beautiful chanting. Patisankha pinda padang patisevami Nevadavayana madayana mandanayana vibhusanaya Yavadeva imasakaya satitya Yapanaya vihingsuparatiya Brahmacharyanuggahaya Iti puranam cha vedanam Patihang khami navam cha vedanam Naupadesami Yatra cha me bhavisati Anavajyata cha phasu viharo chati. So this is what we call Pachavekana, Ahara Pachavekana or Pindapata Pachavekana. And here the monk, considering it thoughtfully, I use alms food, not playfully, not for intoxication, not for putting on bulk, not for beautification, but simply for the survival and continuance of this body, for ending its afflictions, for the support of the holy life, thinking, thus will I destroy all feelings of hunger and not create new feelings from abundance. I will maintain myself, be blameless, and live in comfort. This is why the monks take food. And now you can see it is not just for the survival of the body so that they can practice. But the lay people, sometimes they can take food for different cases, like or something like that. You want to have vitamin, you want to take different kinds of food so that you can also look good, look better, look stronger, and look impressive in front of others. So that is different. Yeah, so I also want to say this also I repeatedly mention in many cases, like when a monk was um, in many cases the monks are actually meditating inside the jungle. The Buddha was also meditating in the jungle, and they were really enjoying there. And one time a Deva he came to the Buddha and asked why those monks who are meditating in the jungle and still maintain such good complexion, such good serenity among them, even without so much of comfort. Then the Buddha explained. This is again in Devata Samhita. It's also mentioned several times in different contexts. Sometimes they were asking a monk, and sometimes they were asking the Buddha himself, and then the same answer was given. Um, that is atithang nanu so chanti napajapangti nagatang pachupangnena yapengti tena vanno pasidati. So they don't worry about the past. They do not repent over the past. And then they do not worry about the future. They just enjoy the blissful moments at the present, right here, right now. And therefore, their complexion is much more peaceful and serene. And that is why, even though they don't have so much comfort like other people, they still have a very wonderful, very peaceful, very happy, and very healthy life. Okay, so this again is part of the food that they take. I also want to say, like, we humans take Kabalikara and our lifespan is not that long compared to the let's say the Brahmarian. They take only the piti. That is their food. So that happiness, the rapture, the joy can make them survive so long. So the Kabalikara food sometimes not necessarily making us alive more. Sometimes we take food and the food itself becomes toxic and our lifespan can be cut short. So the more you eat, the more prone your body becomes to sickness. And the less you eat, the more longer you can survive. That is also the truth, right? We see now a lot of people have so many diseases, so many discomforts, and sometimes because you give food. And also remember the monks and nuns and also the practitioners, they sometimes practice fasting. You don't take vikala bhojana. So vikala bhojana is a really very wonderful practice that we all should try from time to time, at least if not regularly, and to have a feeling of it, taste of it, because it gives you a unnecessary, let's say like cancer cells, they cannot survive when you don't take food, when you don't take vikala bhojana. And that's also really interesting, like why those monks can survive long and healthy, and also peaceful and happy. And maybe they also don't get this kind of disease, those practitioners. I'm talking about the practitioner monks, okay? And so it's really important that we keep practicing those things and not craving for food. Craving for food can make us sick, but if you control, you restrain your senses, five faculty, it will be very helpful. Even the Buddha said once to I guess it is Kukusati, who asked, please, the Blessed One, teach me a shortcut to Nibbana. And then the Buddha gives him an answer. Okay, if you want to have a shortcut to Nibbana, just take care of your five senses. So this again is a very good way to control our senses, discipline, sila, the morality, ethical side, and that way we can be healthy. So yeah, that's it about this ahara or nutrition factor. Is that clear to you? Is everyone okay? Hello, are you there?
Yes, yes, Bante. Sorry, just trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
Looking up Pali words.
Right. So is that okay? Like you know now about the ahara, like different kinds of ahara, and also how they affect us in different forms. And now the path leading to the cessation of um, Attangika Magga, right? It's also really important to know again Sammaditthi, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayam, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. If I go quickly through this Sammaditthi, this again is Sammaditthi. We already talked about that. And also it is related to Four Noble Truths like Dhamma Ahara Samudaya and Ahara Nirodha and Ahara Nirodha Gamini Patipada. That is the Four Noble Truths. And Sammaditthi, or right view about the Four Noble Truths. That is the Sammaditthi part. And Samma Sankappa again, Nikkamma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, and Avihimsa Sankappa. Like you want to let things go, that is also a good way to take care of your Samma Sankappa. Let things go and not really. Nekama is also, remember, Nekama is also, what do you call, um, paramita, uh, letting go. And then Avihimsa is practicing non-violence, and Avyapada, and not hurting others, and physically and mentally. This again is about the Samma Sankappa. Samma Vacha is the fourfold verbal actions that we discussed before. Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, and Sampapalapa. And to get rid of these things, abandon these unwholesome actions through verbal faculty, can generate Samma Vacha. Samma Kammanta again. These things also can become our food. When we say something, it can hurt other. When we say something bad, it can hurt other people, and their mind can be polluted. And then if we say something good, let's say like this Dhamma talk, if you feel happy, your mind becomes happier, and then it becomes a good nutrition for you. You are just actually listening to Dhamma talk. This is your Vijnana Ahar. This is the food, nutrition for your Vijnana. So that's why you are listening to Dhamma talk. Again, part of Samma Vacha. And Samma Kammanta is right action, and like to get rid of killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. That is Samma. Um, yeah, that is Samma Kammanta. So again, this can be food to us in different forms, like practicing non-violence, loving kindness, compassion. This can definitely bring peace and happiness to our. That is Vijnana Hara, and not stealing can become also very good practice. You feel safe and secure about your own property when you do not steal others' property. That again can be a different way of earning ahara, and then not indulging in sexual misconduct. Again, that can be a very rich way of earning good nutrition of ahara, food for your body and the mind. Sama Kamanta again. Sama Ajiva is living the right way, like avoiding different kinds of wrong occupations, wrong professions, wrong jobs. Like let's say you are engaged in chemical fertilizer that are very harmful to human beings and also to the nature. That's maybe although you get a lot of money, you can become very rich, you can get a good salary, but then what you do is actually to harm the nature, to harm our fellow human beings, to harm the world in general. So then it's not really good food for yourself and to others. So that one, and then Buddha said like five kinds of businesses I mentioned before too: Satta Vanijja, Sattha Vanijja, Visa Vanijja, Majja Vanijja, and Mansa Vanijja. Five kinds of food, and that is animal husbandry. It can be poison business, or it can be weapon business, and it can be alcoholic drinks and drugs. Very easy money today. You can earn a lot of money. And then again, um, the other one is human trafficking, and these are also really not generating good food for yourself and to others, and for your mind, body, and all the five faculties. These jobs can create unwholesome energy, negative energy. So you have to get rid of them to earn good food. And Sammavayama, the four kinds of efforts that we do, and when we actually get rid of the unwholesome thoughts that we already have, and that is one way of improving Sammavayama. And then you don't have some unwholesome thoughts, so you don't allow them to come in, and that is the second one. And then you already don't have some wholesome thoughts, you generate them. You When you see the other wonderful kalyana mitta friends around you, you see them practicing those wonderful wholesome thoughts, then you want to also inculcate them in yourself. That is Samavayama number three. Number four, you already have wonderful practices, very wholesome thoughts, wholesome practices, wholesome actions, wholesome words. Improve them more, develop them more, and increase them more. That will also become wonderful Samavayama to improve your uh, ahara. Samasati mindfulness, definitely mindfulness about the body and everything you do, like Kayagata Sati, or mindfulness of breathing, or all these Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, Mettanusati, and all kinds of anusatis, Marananusati, they can all be part of mindfulness. Mindfulness is definitely playing a very huge, vital role in maintaining good food, good ahara. Sama Samadhi is concentration, right concentration. This is the climax of our journey, like practicing jhanas or samapatis can be definitely leading us to good food, very powerful, very high food of very high value. Yeah, this way we can um, achieve our final goal. um, yeah, that's it about the food and related ahara related to the Noble Eightfold Path. I hope it was helpful to you. And yeah, so when the Venerable Sariputta said that, when a noble disciple has thus understood nutriment, the origin of nutriment, cessation of nutriment, and way leading to the cessation of nutriment, he entirely abandons the underlying tendency to greed. So when you know this, you know the underlying tendency to greed, you get rid of it. And then also, like sometimes you like food, you get greed. If you don't like food, you get aversion. So when you know the situation, you avoid both of them, greed and aversion. He extirpates the underlying tendency to the view and conceit. And you also know, like, this is the right view, so you can focus on that. You can get rid of those wrong views. And conceit, I am, because we think this body belongs to me, this is myself. So you always try to feed this body and mind, and so many ways trying to uh, satisfy that urge, the desire, the craving. And by ignoring or by abandoning these, we should be able to do much better in your life, in your samsara. And abandoning ignorance again, avidya, remember that is very difficult, but you have to make some effort. And arousing true knowledge, um, again, that also is really, really important. Avidyam pahaya vidyam upaditva. Dittheva dhamme, here and now, makes an end of suffering. In that way, too, a noble disciple is one of right view, whose view is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, and has arrived at this true Dhamma. Yeah, this is about the nutriment of Sammaditthi on nutriment. Okay, and then next week we will discuss about the Four Noble Truths. Over to you, Monica.
Right. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone at all? Okay, just a quick announcement. I think there will be a change in time in next week's class. Am I right, Bante?
Yes, because I'm actually moving to New Jersey for my Vasa, and there will be like 3 hours time change. Now it is like 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. There will be, I guess,
Oh, 3
10
hours difference.
I guess it should be okay, but I'll let you know. Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
will just be aware of it. We'll post
Maybe
the new
maybe the
time.
same time. Yeah, maybe the same time. We will see.
It may be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just keep a lookout for it. Any questions at all? If not, we'll wrap up. All right. Well, thank you very much, Bante, for the very interesting discussion and explanation of this part of the sutta. May I now invite Bante, please, to share merits and to close the session. Thank you. Sadhu.
We have a question here. How important to make the 5 precepts ceremony, or is it sufficient to just practice it? Oh, yeah.
What?
I think that question maybe like we can. The important part of this ahara is you can relate that to any question. Very interesting. And also, the Four Noble Truths. That's why the Buddha said the entire Dhamma can be included into the Four Noble Truths. So this food also is just like that. So like here, let's say like you practice 5 precepts personally, that is okay. But why do we do it like a ceremony, or like we do it like in front of everyone? And why do we do it? It has different purpose. Sometimes for the other people to learn something, set a good example, also to encourage, inspire others, like children, for example. So we need to help them. We need to also show them path. You also have a duty, at least to show this wonderful path to one person who is so close to your life. Maybe if you love your children, if you love your husband, wife, if you love your siblings, if you love your friends, you should also help them find this path. You should share this one. At least bring them over to this Dhamma discussion to enlighten them. And because if you are enjoying it, you should also be able to share it with others. Just a thought. Again, that ceremonious kind of 5% practice can be helpful to many people. That is exactly why we do it that way in front of many, in all different occasions. Actually, for example, in Sri Lanka, whenever we have an important occasion, we always start with 5 precepts observing every function. So let's say opening a shop, opening a Dhamma talk, opening any other welfare activity involving a monk. Even you will be surprised to see in almost all the public offices in Sri Lanka, they start with a national anthem. And in the schools, we used to remember we have we had the privilege to observe 5 precepts every single morning in the school. We do it together. Yeah, so just to remind ourselves the importance of practice. I guess 5 precepts, although it is Buddhist, whatever way you want to call it, but these things can be universally applicable by everyone, because this helps the humanity. If you remove that religious tag and give the credit to the original Buddhist doctrine for sure, but then these things can be applied, practiced by any human being. So much the better for everyone. Okay, all
Right.
right. All right. So with that, we conclude today. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Monica, for hosting, and thank you all the people who join us. Maria, Poonam, Punachari, Rajkumar, Ambadi, Susan, and Savita, Rampeke, and Maitrang. They also joined through our YouTube channel. I appreciate everyone and would like to see you again next week. And by the power of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, by the power of all the Dana Sila Bhavana activities that we all have accrued practice during our lifetime, during our whole course of samsara, may you all be well, happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are. May your family members, near and dear ones, uh, teachers, elders, and neighbors, and everyone in your community, and everyone in your country, everyone in the world be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May you all have good, right food all the time. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Sabbitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasato mate bhavattvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada soddhi bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.